live.
Wow, incredible night. It's a special night for us. We have a whole group of folk.
Very
here
talented
having a
fellows.
Conversation with us. We've been promising this one for about a month or more.
Yes.
That we were going to talk about Special Olympics, and tonight's our night to do so. And so let me just introduce a great old friend. David Kerr is here, and Dave and I go back to when we were both young, and we both just decided we're old. So, but it's been a long time. We've worked together United Way and a number of things in the past, and here you are now working with Special Olympics.
I love it. It's great.
Great. Well, we want you to introduce who you brought today, and then we're going to have a great conversation with them too, and talk more about Special Olympics in specific and in general, and then what sports and how much fun you've had being in Special Olympics. So,
well, this is really good that it kind of got the.
And you can take that mic.
Take the mic.
There you go. Take the mic.
Okay.
So, I'm happy that it got delayed till today.
Yes.
Because last week the big announcement came out for Team Ontario athletes.
Yes.
So sitting beside me on my left, there's 3 people that have been selected to compete at the National Games in Medicine Hat, Alberta next summer.
Amazing.
It's been great. We would have done this sooner. It would have just been in general, but now I get to introduce 3
we've got real stars.
Team Ontario members in the room with me tonight.
Excellent.
So on my left, I have I'm
Donald?
No. I have Donald, then Gordie, then Bradley.
Right.
Yeah.
So they are all in different sports,
Mhm.
and when we get there, after I pass this back to Joe, we'll move on and let them talk.
I love it.
Well, let's talk in general just a little bit, David. Well, you have the microphone. Special Olympics is something I've been involved in on and off since I became mayor, and I think even before that, as a member of Parliament and a local business owner. Special Olympics is a great group for our community. But tell us kind of what the St. Thomas group looks like, and now you've just told us about Ontario level athletes, and you're going to a national program. So tell us a bit about how Special Olympics works across the country.
I look forward to that. So let me talk about here, the programs we offer here. So I'm one of the 2 co-coordinators here in St. Thomas. Happens to be that Gordie's mother is my other co-coordinator.
Oh, well, I know.
You know Linda.
That really helps you out, I bet. She's quite
She's good.
Let's bring that mic over for Joe there.
So we do a whole bunch of stuff. We'll switch.
We got him now.
Oh, there we go.
So we do a whole bunch of stuff. We run a lot of programs year round. So in this season right now, we'll call this our winter season. We have swimming, bocce, 3 basketball teams, pickleball, bowling, and curling.
Well, pickleball is pretty new, but
it's very new and it's busy.
Yeah.
We have a wait list for pickleball.
Oh, same as adults.
And right now we also have a wait list for swimming. It is that popular.
Excellent.
The Y has been a great partner for us.
Yes.
We're all in the pool at the same time now,
yes,
which is just amazing. So thanks to Morgan and those folks over there for making that happen. So in the summer season, spring season, which is where both Bradley and Gordie qualify for nationals, we run baseball. We have 3 baseball teams in town. 3? 2 baseball teams. 2 soccer teams. Track and field, outdoor bocce. What am I missing? Anything? Golf. Oh yeah, I forgot about golf. I coach golf. Never slipped my mind to come it, and that was pretty good too.
Well, we were at the soccer tournament. You weren't with me.
I wasn't able to make it.
I was there by myself.
No, you weren't. You were there with me.
I was there, of course, with you, and I believe our member of Parliament, and to kick off the soccer tournament this year. Now, this is my 2nd year of doing that. It rained really hard last year, and this year was a beautiful day.
Yeah. So in St. Thomas, we have a wide range of individuals. All of them have some intellectual disability, and it could range from the most common ones that people know, autism, Downs, but there are some other things that sort of fit into that mix as well. Our youngest, the youngest in this room for sure, sitting here on my left, our youngest athlete, I believe, is 12 years old. And the oldest athlete is a lady who swims with me, and she just turned 72 this year.
Wow.
And and Marnie's really good at that. She loves to swim.
Excellent. Yeah, they've done a great job of refurbishing the pool over at the Y too.
They
A
spent
lot of
some
new
good paint.
and
Paint
tile,
looks
right?
good.
It was. I won't say it was tired looking, but this looks really good. They had me over there in a swim ring with a swimsuit the other day doing a bit of a video. Yeah, we don't want to know how that turned out.
You know, because with having a wait list, that's
Yeah.
that's one of the topics that I know you've talked about in other rooms before,
Yeah.
as to whether or not we need a bigger facility
Yep.
that holds all that stuff, and
Yeah.
who knows?
Well, a better facility from a pool point of view to hold events in.
hold events in, absolutely.
We're pushing right now the use for families and helping pay some of the bills for families in St. Thomas to use the YMCA pool.
And that is a great program, right? You know,
Oh.
for $35 for that number of swims, you can't
Yeah.
beat that.
No, it's incredible. I know you can't tell by looking, but I was a water polo player.
I didn't know
used to
that.
swim a lot.
I played with Team Ontario.
Oh,
when I was
really?
younger.
I wasn't quite that good, but I wasn't bad. All right, so let's learn. It maybe pass the mic as I do it. David, what's your sport or sports? Donald. I said David. I already did David.
Mike's gone.
Donald, what's your favorite sport?
Well, I qualified for soccer. I'm going for soccer
Right.
for the nationals. But I also play basketball through Special Olympics, and then I
Good.
play ice hockey outside the Special Olympics.
Wow, excellent. And so favorite soccer?
Soccer, yeah, because I'm going for soccer.
Right.
But I love hockey a lot. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, me too. 2 artificial knees tell me I was not as good a hockey player as I thought I was. But yeah. Well, and when did you start? How many days a week would you be at one of the sports?
Well, normally it's like 1 day a week.
Right.
So like Mondays in the summer are soccer, Wednesdays throughout the winter is basketball. Then I got every Saturday is hockey. So
Right.
throughout like the winter. So.
I take it you have a lot of teammates. Are they teammates that you've kind of grown up playing with?
Well, yeah, I started basketball back in 2018, and it's relatively the same team all the way up, so mostly the same.
So you get to know who you can trust,
Yeah,
who's going to pass the ball
yeah.
to you, and who you can ignore. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Does that include family members?
Yeah.
Great. And fun?
Oh, yeah, very fun.
Medicine Hat, Alberta.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been to Medicine. I've been to a number of other Albertan cities, but that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So how many people would be at a national event like that?
Oh, I'm thinking this year. I know Team Ontario has 320 people going, including coaches.
Wow.
And what's special, Donald, about being selected to go this year for this event?
Well, considering that, obviously, normally if you win at provincials, you get to go, but I played well at provincials that the team that won is calling me up, so that is a good.
So you're the
feeling to-
ringer they're bringing on to
Yeah,
Yeah.
the St. Thomas Ringer.
Yeah,
I love it.
good.
I was called up like last week.
Incredible.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Hang on that thought. We've got people watching us today, and Mayor's Update is normally more of a Ask Joe About Potholes kind of show. So I wanted to let you know, I see some questions on the board, can't possibly read them if Grayden puts everything.
They're
in
just
about a
hellos.
3
They're
font.
hellos right now. Hellos.
Okay. And, but to let you know, ask us questions. If we don't get them answered during the show, if they're specifically about Special Olympics, we'll try and get the answers from the experts we have here tonight.
Yep.
If they're more about city business, Grayden and I will take time this week to make sure we answer all of those.
I want to go back to nationals just for a second.
Yeah.
Joe. So tough decisions to make.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of our athletes and teams do extremely well. The basketball team that Donald plays for, they won gold at spring games.
Yeah.
But they weren't one of the
Wow.
3 teams selected to go.
Yeah.
We had 4 divisions. The other 3 are going. We had swimmers.
It was 7.
It's
for
7?
basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's not a guarantee.
No, it's not.
still the best of the best.
So
going
and
to
even
that.
people that won all golds in the pool
Right.
are going. It was very
Wow.
very rigid process.
There was one team that won all their games, and they're still not going to. Like Brampton could have went for basketball. Also.
That feels right.
Well, the 3 teams going for that is Guelph. They're all Guelph.
Hmm.
Surprisingly.
Gordon,
Yeah.
Gordon and I used to see each other very early mornings at the Y. I was there working out, kind of, but he was there really practicing. Um, and I'd come in, really tired out, and he'd come in not even out of breath. He'd just gone full out for a whole hour. And right. So, how many years have you been doing that?
For swimming, I've been swimming 18 years.
Wow. And you still get up every morning and love doing it?
Not really as usual, but around next summer I'll be starting early mornings so that way I can get extra practice in.
Yeah. Swimming your only sport?
No,
I know swimming has different sports inside swimming of different types of strokes, but what other, is there other sports you're interested in?
So besides swimming, I do basketball. These other sports I do, I just try to do it. See, I used to swim Paralympics, and doing the same sport for like 6-7 years to me, it was fun for a bit, but I get really bored over time because you're just doing the same thing. So when I got done Paralympics, I decided to do other sports. Because before I joined Paralympics, I was doing all the sports before that, and so I'm really glad about doing all the sports now. So.
What other sports do you play?
Right now I'm doing basketball, doing 10-pin bowling, and I'm doing basketball.
Yeah.
And in the summertime?
Yeah, I just hop on the summertime.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're staying busy and staying in shape.
Yeah.
Right? I can tell by looking. I maybe haven't been. No.
Yeah.
Brad? What's your favorite sport?
Well, that's easy. My favorite sport is 10-pin bowling, and in the summertime, I do softball.
Softball, you like? Yeah.
Oh yes.
Now, Bradley, are you a comedian as well?
Yeah.
Because I think I was at the Sports Spectacular one year. Was that you that was doing a comedy routine?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I thought I recognized you.
Exactly. I tried to steal his speech from him before he went up, but he was good enough without it anyway. But, we had a lot of fun at that night at Special Olympics too. Right?
And speaking of Sports Spectacular, are you excited about any of the guests that are coming this year?
Yes, but I didn't know who was going to be there. I guess, but my prediction might be, I was thinking maybe the guests could be like any like sports legends, like maybe like for the Blue Jays, maybe like Joe Carter.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Like maybe for basketball, I'm thinking maybe like I don't know, like Shaquille O'Neal or
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
If we can get Michael Jordan in here.
Wouldn't that be
we'll
nice
be
to
okay.
see?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a debate between who's the greatest of all time, between Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
Whoa, yeah.
Well, my favorite part of Sports Spectacular is I get to sit with the athletes of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a fun night for me. I won't miss that one. I might skip the Grand Slam of curling or something, but there's certain things that I won't miss. And we had a lot of fun that night. Food's always good. Lots of funny jokes when you get other comedians sitting at the table with you.
Right.
It's great.
Well, it's great because you had the whole head table laughing with your routines there, which is pretty incredible. Yeah.
So 10-pin bowling.
Yes.
Which one are you going to Medicine Hat to do?
10-pin bowling.
10-pin bowling. Okay.
And I also, actually, it's a little fun fact. At the spring games, when I was standing on the podium, I told everybody that when I received my gold medals, I said, "Bowling tonight, tomorrow, bazinga." Parody of Tequila Tonight, tomorrow we ride.
Well, you got to.
Because fun fact, one of the bowlers I bowl with, I think, like he was from Simcoe, I guess, and he keeps saying bazinga, which I kind of like.
If it works for them, we all have our superstitions in sport of different things that we make sure to wear the same shoes or something like that. If that's his superstition, let him have it.
And also, fun fact, he is going to the Nationals. I discovered from the list of athletes, and his name is also on there, along my name too.
Well, many of you compete at the Ontario level, of course, at the local level, then at the Ontario level. So some of the people you'll see in Medicine Hat are people you have competed against before in your sport. Do you get to be? I mean, I've been to a number of Special Olympics events, and it seems to be pretty good camaraderie. This isn't, oh no, they're the other team. No, they're friends too. Am I correct?
we had a story this summer where we had one of our athletes who had a pretty severe seizure,
Mm-hmm.
and it stopped the game, ended the game.
Yeah.
And then when he came back to actually that was at a qualifier when he came to watch and play in the summer provincials.
Right.
The other team was there, and even when he got struck out, he walked out and shook the pitcher's hand
Right.
on the team from Oshawa, and they have stayed in touch. And that's one thing about all the athletes. They know swimmers from other places. They know
Right.
who they're rooming with from other centers.
Right.
It's going to be great.
No, and that's what I mean. You make lifelong friends in doing events like this, and you get to see the same people. Kind of as you grow up, they grow up too in the sports they're in. Brody, I know you've competed on the international level a fair bit, and have met people from around the world that you still probably see at something. But this is quite fun to be able to do that. Well, I'll tell you, as the mayor of St. Thomas, we're pretty proud of the folks from here in St. Thomas, and certainly the Ontario team going to Medicine Hat. How can we get to Medicine Hat during the
August
August?
airplane.
No, I know how to get there. How do we avoid having to be mayor for a week to be able to be in Medicine Hat?
Don't you guys go on break during August?
Yeah.
You got a question up there for you?
Okay, sure.
Oh.
Yeah, it says, any tips for swimming, Gordie?
I'm sorry.
The question is, you got any tips for one of the audience that wants to know about swimming?
Awesome. Just some slow. If you're starting, just some slow, working your technique. When you feel like you're getting faster, then add some speed to your technique. Just set your workouts. Just feel great doing them, and then make sure you warm down your muscles, and then that's all really.
Great answer.
Excellent. I just find I'm a little too buoyant now compared to my former swimming days.
So I stopped scuba diving.
I can't get to the
I've
bottom
got some
anymore.
extra weights in my house if you want to get.
Tie them on and then head out. Well, we had that conversation when I was at the YM the other day, and I'm probably not getting in the pool soon. So.
Do you guys have any further thoughts? Because we can, we'll go on break. If you guys have any final thoughts, we'll go on break, and then we'll move into the municipal politics side of everything.
So yeah, I'd like to say something on behalf of these guys
please.
and all the rest of the athletes. We can't do this without your support.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is quite expensive. People can always volunteer and to get involved with the organization with people hours. And the best way to do that is to reach out to me through the Special Olympics Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be everybody's quick mode of transportation.
What's the exact name of that Facebook page?
The St. Thomas Special Olympics.
There we go, folks.
All right. So
And-
we'll be expecting everybody to visit and like and share tonight.
So that's part of it. And the other part is financial. So
Right.
Special Olympics Ontario is a not-for-profit charity.
Yes.
So anybody who wants to contribute more than $20 does get a tax receipt.
Yep.
So we've had, and this week alone, I've had 2 Elgin County businesses that have approached me and have offered significant financial donations to help out with the programs, but they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Right? We've got to rent facilities. We've got to pay for travel. We got to pay for practice. We got to pay for tournaments. So
Equipment and
we'll take
all.
all the help you can get.
Well, as a local businessman, I'll second that, Dave. That the sponsorship of businesses in town, certainly there's a lot of ask,
Mhm.
right? But there's lots of good reason why you want to support. Right? Special Olympics is a great place to put your effort and your money.
Mhm.
But the most important thing may be what you suggested, the volunteer time. That just can we get enough people out to help all the time? And volunteering in this community is a really special piece. But as some of us get older, we lose some of our volunteers, and we have to keep getting new ones. Right?
So before we go to break, I want to thank you guys for having us on the show today.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
I mean, it's great
It's
to
our
be
honor.
here. I think you guys all good with being here?
Yeah. Thank you, Joe, for having us here.
Well, thank you. I can talk potholes every week, but I don't get great guests like this every time. This is really a lot of fun, and to see old friends in the room too is pretty special. Dave was reminiscing about being in this room on his old days on one of our city committees, and it's wonderful you didn't get into a good discussion about economic development while you're here.
Not today. Not today.
Yeah.
This is all about this crew here.
No, it is. And let's be really proud of what we've been doing. Continue to have fun doing it, and continue to be great sports in the sports we're in. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for representing us. You guys are obviously, you can clearly see
Look
with all
at
the
the
medal
medal.
you guys are
Yeah.
sporting there.
Yeah.
More medals than I have, that's for sure. So thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go a quick break, and then we'll be
Quick
right
break
back.
and be right back.
All right, and we're back.
We are back, and what a great group that was.
Just incredible.
Right, and I keep watching for my friend Julian to be on to ask his questions, but Julian's also special.
He
and
is.
He works at the Wendy's with us, and
Mhm.
he'll talk your ear off about just about any topic. So
And
it
how?
was
And I
great
really,
to see some of his other friends tonight.
so good. We can't wait to have him on as well. And I'm gonna zoom out this camera. I zoomed in a little bit too much because we weren't sitting here. So
we're close. Yeah, because we had so many. All right. While Grayden's up, please get your questions ready for us. We have a little bit of time to talk municipal. I'm going to talk a little bit about last night's council meeting. A fairly good agenda. A couple big things that we got done last night. We talked about Emsley Field and the grandstand at Emsley Field being in fairly sad shape.
yeah,
And so the Parks and Rec Department brought us what are we going to do about the and the accessibility people too, because it was never built for accessibility. And so what will we do? After a pretty good around the horseshoe conversation with council, we talked about different ideas and sponsorships and other things we can do to repair the grandstand.
Yep.
Somewhere in the up to $1 million worth of cost to replace that grandstand. We said, well, when we're within a month of budget, we probably should refer this to capital budget and talk more about it then, but try and get as many ideas solidified as we can. Do we need to have a grandstand that big? Do we need to do it? Does it need to be of an old baseball style grandstand? Right. And what else can we do?
I saw one of the options was the minimal amount was around 800,000.
Yeah.
And then if you did a full retrofit, it'd be like 1.2, 1.3, something like that.
And I agree that it needs the work. There's no doubt that council's agreeing it needs the work. But I mean, I've been out there for a number of different events in the past number of years, and there's usually not very many people sitting in the grandstand. Now, is that because it needs the work? That could very well be it,
Mm.
right? But do we make it smaller? Do we do it in a more modern way? Because that was built in like 50s or 60s, that grandstand.
It could be
So
an-
we're going to get some of those answers. But if you've got
Yeah.
some answers to that, please share them with us.
I think an outdoor concert venue,
Right.
if it could be adapted to that in whatever retrofit is made, I think that'd be phenomenal.
You and I talked about a bit about that. For
Yeah.
some of the big events happening at Pinafore Park,
Mhm.
a bit of a paid concert venue, putting a stage in
fenced.
center field and using
Right.
the grandstand as the way of maybe getting a little money to things like the St. Thomas Arts and Music Festival,
Yes.
and the work that way. So that's great too. Grayden, I can't possibly read any of the questions, so if you have any there, I'm going to go on to the other. I guess the other main thing we did last night was pass the terms of reference on the secondary plan for the
Yep.
railway lands. And so the terms of reference have now been written as to how we'll move forward. The next step in the process is a landowner, property owners meeting that will come up very shortly. We were trying to involve all of the landowners of all of the land inside the boundary of the secondary plan to see, first of all, what are their thoughts, of course, and what do they want to do with their properties.
And how can people see whether they're in that boundary or not?
Look, I had hoped that we could publish the terms of reference tonight.
Okay.
I only had them in my agenda, so I guess the easiest way may be to call customer service and ask for a copy of the terms of reference.
Terms of reference,
Right.
customer service.
And we'll
Okay.
get a online version of them so that we have them in our files too, so that something to click on, because it's more what steps will be taken and in what order, how do public meetings occur, where are the outside boundaries of that. And then, as I said, the next meeting to take place will be property owners, and then we'll start to get into some of the public meetings.
Very good. And Dale Cummings is saying he thinks that the grandstand should look like an older style because the ball diamond is an older ballpark.
No, and we're trying to decide what does that mean. Right now, it's a concrete kind of waterfall look.
Yeah.
Right. I believe it used to have wooden benches on all of that, and it doesn't
Oh, okay.
anymore. I don't
Yeah.
think.
No,
Um,
it definitely isn't.
Many older style grandstands are simply wooden benches on a metal frame. And some of it is as much for shade or rain protection as it is anything else, the roof over it. So we've got to maybe look at a few others. Now, remember, Emsley Field arguably is the oldest ball diamond in continuous use in the format that it is in history.
Which is that's pretty incredible.
The Bat Park in London tries to suggest that it's the long, and it maybe have been in use longer, but the infield used to be way out at the far end, and now it's in. So, but Emsley Field has been in this format for a long period of time.
Interesting.
So we've got to, from a heritage point of view and a bunch of other reasons, look at what we're going to do there, and we'll leave it to capital budget since it's a pretty good chunk of change.
Right.
And we may have to do it over 2 or 3 years. We may have to. Let's do some and see what we get, then do some more.
Another question we had come in was the replacement for C. Peters. How is
Yes.
that being processed?
Well, we have, as of last week, we declared the position vacant. That now sets a new clock running on about a 60-day timeline as to when we have to do something more. Councillor Gorky couldn't be at last night's meeting, so we didn't really want to do anything more without all council there. And next week there's 2 public meetings, and it may be a fairly long meeting. So it might be the 17th of November before council gets to choose. In the bylaw we passed, we've declared the seat vacant, and we decided we would not have an election, but a $200,000 election to replace. So we thought we'll do an appointment. And so the appointment now can be really almost anything. Somebody else off the old election list, a prominent citizen, somebody who might run in the next election or might not run in the next election. Council has to decide. It's about a year from the next election, so we're trying to decide, are we giving somebody an advantage if we're appointing somebody, or should we be doing exactly that? Right.
Right. And then a lot of people said, well, who's Joe appointing for the position? But it's not just you that makes that decision.
No. I'll have one suggestion, the same as others will. I'll lead and since I'm the mayor and the chair of the conversation as it's going on, I often don't get to give my thoughts till last. Council all gets to go ahead.
Yeah.
And so sometimes somebody else comes up with a better idea and I steal that in my conversation. So look, we'll have a good earnest conversation about it. We have to fill the position. I would like, my own personal opinion is council should be 7 people, not 8, but that's just mine. But we have to fill this position before the next election. And anything 3 months out from the next election, that we would have to do this process. So we're going to be well into that before we get there. I've had a couple of private conversations, one-offs, because we can't meet as a council without it being an official meeting, but talking to other members of council what their thoughts might be, or how what might be the suggestion they bring forward. But that's as far as we are at this point.
Very good. Just a question. I think we covered it from Brett Longfield, but when and how will the public be consulted regarding the future of the railway lands?
Well, as we suggested, the first step is to get the people that own that land involved in a conversation where that we're asking them to pay a large portion of this secondary plan conversation. And I think you'll find us some significant. There's stores along Talbot Street that would be in the railway land. There's the railway museum, the Queso station, so the railway group, right? There's of course Doug Terry has purchased a bit of land there. The city has a good couple of pieces of land in the area also. And then the businesses along Wellington, the businesses along First, the businesses along Ross all get the first chance to talk about what does it look like collectively to the people who own the property, so that zoning could be done that way. But we promise you there'll be public meetings following that.
Very good. Mike Rogers has a question. Does St. Thomas have any plans to add daycare space? It is already difficult to find a daycare, and this will get much worse with expected population growth.
Well, we are the last one to open a daycare center and build one. We'll continue to try and do that. We've been advertising recently for, is there another organization out there that would like to help run a daycare? Even if we were to build another one, we would need an organization. The city doesn't truly run daycares, but the YMCA, the YWCA, Association for Community Living, a number of other groups. And there's a couple of private people out there that actually run daycares also. So we're looking for someone to come forward that if we build another daycare center, much like we did here on St. Catharines, does somebody have a group that they would like to come forward and help us run it? And we recognize it. We think we're hundreds short on childcare spaces. And the province helps with that. It's under the Ministry of Education, and they're trying to help us with that. But it'd be a shame to spend millions to build a place and not open it. So we want to make sure we have an operator for it before we put forward the RFPs to build a new daycare center.
Right. And Brett Longfield has a question, and this has just come down from the government, the federal government. He's saying, how will the citizens of St. Thomas be affected by the $80 billion deficit presented today by the federal government?
Well, I mean, since the federal government and the provincial government are the only two levels of government that are allowed to run deficits, and the municipality is not, as the mayor, have to be very careful about how we set budgets going forward, that we don't bite off more than we can do, that we are cognizant of increasing revenue so that we can run our community and city in a great way. Look, and I'll tell you my biggest fear, that's a huge deficit at the federal level, and that is not sustainable. So at some point in the future, some of the great things the federal government is contributing money to at the municipal level will go away. And so as a municipality and a mayor, I have to be, and our council has to be cognizant of what does that mean? What might leave? How much might leave? And in what year might it leave? Because if all of a sudden that year, that's not part of our budget, we have to then either put that money up ourselves or cut service to get it. So I'm asking Prime Minister Carney to be cognizant of what municipalities and provinces are asking of him, but increasing spending just means sooner or later someone's got to pay the piper.
Right. And there was also an announcement from the federal government about additional funding coming in to help with people who are facing addictions.
Yes. Who's printing the money? Where's this coming from? Can I get a little poll on here? Who wants to pay more taxes? Because that's the only place the federal government gets its money, is from people who are actually earning money and paying taxes. or businesses that are earning money and paying taxes. So there's a finite amount of funding that is available to the federal government and to the provincial government. Now, the provincial government has also been attempting to move forward revenue, find new businesses for the province so that there's an increase. Now, the revenue stream has increased provincially, but so has the spending.
Yeah.
And since they fund so much that municipalities do, I'm afraid that this all happens in 1 year. People remember Prime Minister Paul Martin was the finance minister at one point, and he balanced the budget in this country. He takes a lot of credit for having done that.
Yeah.
But he did it by stopping sending money to the provinces and the municipalities. Oh, I don't want to be the mayor on the year that happens. It just will be very hard. We're doing some great things. This week, another great announcement of Veraart coming to St. Thomas. $2 billion investment in our Yarmouth Yards Industrial Park. So starting off with 300 employees can grow to 1,000. These are the types of investments municipalities have to make to somewhat ensure themselves from other levels of government getting to the point where they don't have enough money.
Right. No, that was a very big announcement, and it went across the world as well.
It was made internationally and then worked its way back to St. Thomas.
I love that as other people are announcing closures, St. Thomas continues to announce groundbreakings.
Well, if you'll remember, there was a time when we were in Norway about 7 or 8 months ago. Now that answers question why.
You couldn't talk about it.
No, we couldn't say why we went to Norway, but Veraart is from Norway, and we visited some of their facilities and convinced them that St. Thomas is a great place to come to work.
It's incredible.
Well,
and there was another place they were looking at, and then they decided, you know what?
Well, this is, I don't think we're their only choice, but we are now.
Yeah.
So perfect. They make synthetic graphite, and another show, we'll spend a great deal of time telling you how they make synthetic graphite. I'm looking forward to the beehive on how synthetic graphite is made.
Yes. Well, and there's an announcement one coming up, but then we'll definitely have to have them on to talk about the synthetic graphite, because it's a fascinating process, and it secures Ontario's place in this energy chain.
Well, in the supply chain of EVs.
Because it's not just for electric vehicles.
And it's not just electric vehicles. Medical uses, nuclear power uses. There's a number of uses for synthetic graphite, or for graphite of any type. And about 95% of the world's graphite is from China. And so we've really done something quite significant, finding a largest supplier on synthetic graphite right here in St. Thomas.
And they already have GM on.
Yes, they've signed GM as a contract to supply graphite to them. I'd expect that the factory they're next to will also maybe go that way too.
And maybe, I mean, it might be kind of handy.
Makes sense.
Looks convenient to me. Geographically.
Yeah. And then, as you see, the great amount of work happening out in Yarmouth Yards.
Oh my goodness.
That is now with PowerCo, with Veraart, about half of Yarmouth Yards' capacity.
Can we talk about which location on Yarmouth Yards that they're taking over yet?
Not sure what I can share. So let's say no.
We'll say no.
But we'll do a tour out there, or you will do a beehive out there and tell us more information about it. But about half of Yarmouth Yards is still available for other industrial growth. Hello, world. St. Thomas is still open for business, and we're happy to have you here. Who else wants to come, and who else has got something they can supply to the new technology of St. Thomas?
So exciting.
Yeah, it clearly is.
All right, we're going to jump into some questions here. I know are you okay to go a little over time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Does the city own the empty land between Moore Street and Princess Ave south of Center Street?
No. No, it is not. It's privately owned, and again, at least borders on the railway land or the secondary plan lands that we're talking about. So a different property owner will get to talk about that land too.
Mike Rogers is saying, has the city or will the city ask daycare operators directly to expand into St. Thomas?
We have. We continue to every day ask for new people to run them, new private operators to open, even private in-home daycare. Please open. We're doing our best to try and put more daycare here. We've gone to a system of making childcare quite inexpensive, but I'm not sure if that hasn't caused some of the current operators of daycare to say that's hard to run at that price.
Right.
So I think we have to have more of a universal discussion from parents through childcare operators to municipalities to school boards. How do we get rid of the vacancy. How do we add more daycare to the system?
Very good. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show. We went a little bit longer here, but it was a great show.
Great.
We had
Happy to
amazing
have
guests.
Special Olympics on tonight. Hey, we never did have Julian join us. He must be working tonight.
Oh no, I think he's going to come on another show.
Another show. Okay, so
Yeah.
you promised him special.
He's got a he's a great kid.
Anyway, we want to thank all of you that joined us. And I was at an event yesterday in Hamilton on housing with some home builders in Hamilton, and I was on a panel with some other municipal, mayors and councilors. Minister Flack was the keynote speaker in the morning. A great friend of ours, Mike Moffat, Dr. Moffat from Western, who does a lot of research on housing. And I get emails from him every morning, and I was really pleased to have a great conversation with him. But to really learn where St. Thomas is, both in a home building sense, that our home builders are still maybe more active than some other home builders across Ontario. Yeah. But certainly where we are from the housing point of view and the homelessness point of view.
Mm-hmm. And what were they saying there in terms of the outlook for the next year?
Well, it's really a complicated thing. We've been waiting for interest rates to drop. They've dropped. We've been waiting for builders to kind of come back on board. We've been waiting for governments to make some announcements like the removal of HST on first-time home buyers and those types of things. All of those things have happened, but there's an uncertainty in the world called Donald Trump that is causing most people to say, do I buy a very expensive house right now, or do I wait and see how this works? Yeah. They've been noticing some other parts of Southern Ontario actually having some businesses close or job laid off. We're not seeing that in St. Thomas. We're happy we've insured ourselves against that. But we have these 2 new factories coming in the next little while with thousands of employees. We've got to make sure we can build housing of all types. Yeah. Housing homelessness through whatever house anybody else might want, and everything in between, from townhomes, market rent, and the rest. We need to do it as fast and as great as we can. Mm-hmm. So that's what I learned yesterday is there's another crisis coming our way in housing.
So. Absolutely. And were you speaking at the conference?
I did speak, yeah. I was at a panel with some other, pardon?
And what were you speaking on?
Well, more the temperature in St. Thomas and how we're moving forward. And Doug Terry was there as a spectator. Angela DeVries from our Home Builders Organization was there. And there was more questions asked of us than there was us sharing information, right? Mm-hmm. But on the panel I was on we talked about how do you get builders to move forward. Yes is the answer, as the way we've always talked, and to continue to work regionally with the municipalities around us and making sure they're building houses as fast as we can too. So whether it's Central Elgin, Southwold, Elmer, Malahide, or the City of London, all the way around us has to be building. If one of us tries to do it all by itself, it won't be enough. So we've got to work together.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks again for your time this week.
Great. I'm heading away for a couple of days. Stephanie's heading to Edmonton.
Incredible,
so I have to get her to the airport early tomorrow morning. So I'd like to get to bed.
All right. Yeah. Let's get you off there. And I'm just going to do the sign off here. So take care, everybody.
Thanks.
And we'll see you next week.